guys, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Girls Kitchen. Well, today is our final episode on our Thanksgiving side dishes, and I saved the best for last, which is our cornbread dressing. Cornbread dressing really pretty much originated in the southern states, and everybody kind of does it their own way, especially in the north. But the south is mostly cornbread dressing, and we're gonna get started today on it because it is delicious, and I can't wait to show you how easy it is. So let's start. In this bowl, I went ahead and toasted 6 pieces of just white sandwich bread, and I actually let those kind of dry out overnight along with my cornbread. I made it last night because you want your bread, regardless of what kind you use, to be really good and dry. So to our sandwich bread, we're gonna start crumbling up our cornbread. And you know, these don't have to be in really little small pieces, but you just kind of want them to where you can work them in real good with your other bread. So for my cornbread recipe, I just used a 9x13 baking dish, and I used the recipe on the back of the cornmeal packet. So we're going to go ahead and add our celery, and this is about 10 celery stalks that have just been diced pretty fine. I just use my hand chopper for these, and we're going to turn the heat down to kind of a medium-low and make sure that it gets covered in this butter. And this is 3 sticks of butter that I've just melted. We just want these to saute is what we want them to do. Just not really get brown, but just get softened up. And then this is 3 large onions. So we went ahead and we took up our onions and our celery that we had sauteed in our butter. And we're gonna go ahead and get this mixed together really good. We've got all this cornbread down here that it needs to be incorporated in really well. Okay, so I think we've got this mixed together pretty good, and we're gonna go ahead and add some ground sage to it. If you don't want the ground sage in it, that's fine, but I'm telling you, this is what makes it. So I am just starting out with about a half of a teaspoon, maybe just a little bit more. We're gonna go ahead and get this mixed around really good. This sage just smells heavenly. Okay, so I went ahead and added the full teaspoon of sage. I just kind of try it after a half a teaspoon and see, you know, if I can taste it, because I want to be able to taste it before it ever even bakes. So we're going to go ahead and get it in our pan. And you need a pretty good sized pan for this to go in. So in our stock pot, I had heated 4 cans of chicken broth, just canned chicken broth. And I let it heat up really good. It came to actually a boil while I was sauteing my onions and my celery. And I just start ladling it on because I don't want to get too much. What I'm looking for when I put this on is just to keep putting it on until in the corners of the pan, it just starts to stand with a little bit of broth. So I went ahead and put my broth in there. And as you can see, I still have some left in my pot, but this is kind of what I'm looking for. You can see how the broth just kind of comes up to the edges. So we're ready to start on our banana pudding. It is so delicious. I can't wait to show you how easy it is and how good it is for any occasion. Let's get started. So we're ready to go ahead and start with our pudding. This is just a vanilla instant pudding mix, and I got the large box. And then to that, we're going to go with our milk. Smooth and just where we want it. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and start with our Eagle brand milk and our cream cheese. That's gonna go in this bowl and we're gonna mix it together. So this is a few steps, but it is delicious. We've got our Eagle brand milk. And we have got our cream cheese. Let's go ahead and get this blended together really good. We'll be one step closer. Okay, so now we're ready to fold in part of our whipped topping that we have here into our cream cheese mixture. Now we'll go ahead and move on to our next step, which is going to be putting it all together now. First of all, we're going to go with our warm pudding. This is the one that I cooked on top of the stove. Still nice and hot. And what this does is it just makes those cookies soft and they're just absolutely melting in your mouth. We're going to kind of spread that around over the vanilla wafers. Next, we're going to go with a little bit of our cream cheese and our condensed milk. And I'm going to spread it around. It doesn't have to cover the whole thing. We just kind of want to get that taste in there, a little bit of this cream cheese. Then we're going to go with our instant pudding. And we'll spread it around the same way. I mean, does this not look absolutely delicious? And then we have got our bananas. And we sliced 6 bananas. And you can't have too many bananas. There's just absolutely no way. And then we're just going to start all over again. That's what it's about. Let's go ahead and start with our pudding. Kind of spread it around. When you start dipping this out and those cookies are nice and soft, it is just going to all mix together anyway, so don't worry about it if you just don't have every inch of it covered. We're going to go with our cream cheese mixture. Condensed milk is heavenly. This whole recipe is. And I don't make banana pudding nearly as much as I wished I would, but you know, it's just like when Easter comes around or the holidays comes around. It goes so far with the crowd too. If you've got a lot coming to your house, this will feed many. Okay, let's go ahead and get the rest of the bananas on. Just kind of let them lay where they lay. And we'll worry about that when we start dipping it out. Everybody's going to get plenty. Now we're going to top this with the rest of our whipped topping. You could either buy the store-bought whipped topping or you could make your own, whichever you prefer. I just went with the store-bought. Keep it simple, keep it good, keep it easy, and keep it delicious. And then on the top is going to be our crumbled up cookies. Who doesn't like crumbled up cookies? I say put a lot. And there you go. How beautiful is that? Perfect in every way. Okay, so we're ready to go in for the taste testing. And I just want to show you just for a second how moist this dressing is. You know, this is what you're looking for in a dressing. Nobody wants a dried out dressing. This is moist and soft and just the way it should be. So this is what I'm going to dig in first because I've waited for this taste for a whole year. That is one moist dressing for sure. Oh, my mother would be so proud of me. You know, this is her recipe and it just doesn't get any better than this. Straight from the South, no doubt. Now, to highlight the day, the beautiful banana pudding. This is so good, you guys. I can feel how the cookies have already gotten really soft from the hot pudding mix that I put in there. Wish you were here for a bite of this because it is truly delicious. Don't forget to come back into my kitchen next time because we're going to have a couple of more good recipes for you. And until I see you next time in my kitchen, I wish you best dishes from this Oklahoma Girl's kitchen to yours. Bye.